Bought some new tyres for the FZ09. These are Dunlop Street Smarts. I'm going to give those a try. This time I'm actually going to do something a little different. I usually wrestle with them on the floor, but I'm going to try and make myself a short stand so I can rest the spokes into these 3 grooves, but I have to put these 3 grooves on a piece of plywood, the right space, and see if I can wrestle with them on this little stand instead of on the floor. That way hopefully I won't damage the disc. Alright, so the plan is I put these on the plywood and I can rest the wheel like that in those grooves. And with any luck I'll be able to use the same setup on the front as well. Right, so the first thing I'm going to do is using an old screwdriver is pry the pads off the discs a bit, if I can get some leverage in here. Don't seem to be able to get much leverage, I'll have to work on that. Then there's a 6mm and a 14mm, this is a hex, it's a 14mm bolt here, get the brake off. Right, so in order to get the pad off the disc, so I've got lots of room to play with, I'm using this tyre lever against the disc pad, screwdriver against the disc itself, and then just twisting the old levering like that. And let's push the pad back. I've already done it, and there's a nice big gap here now, so I should be able to have no trouble getting that caliper off the disc. Right, once you get the axle out, which I've got here, got this jammed, you get the chain off. Hopefully, should be enough slack. There we go. That's not my fingers. So you can get the chain off and then the wheel should come out. If you're doing a tyre change, you want to take the sprocket out, and you note the spacers when you take the spacers out. I've got them all greased up because they need to be lubricated to run in the seals that they put on there. Otherwise, number one, they'll squeal, but number two, you need to lube them so the seal doesn't get buggered. So I'm also going to pull these out. These are the dampers. Thin end goes in the forward direction, so I'll pull those out and put them aside while I'm playing with the wheel. Okay, so I think this is how I want to set it up. I'm going to keep this board the same length. I'm going to cut it down just in case I need it for something else. And got them supported on the 3 legs, so all I've got to do now is trace round them, tape them in position, and then drill and screw from the other side. And for those of you changing tyres, notice that the light mark, this yellow circle, is right opposite the valve. That's the lazy way to put it on. Normally, if you're doing it the better way, you balance the wheel first and then put the light mark where the heavy spot is. Because you notice the balance weight is 90 degrees apart. Over here, there's only one of them. So they didn't bother balancing the wheel first, they just put it on opposite the valve, which is what you do in high production things. Okay, changed my mind a bit. I'm actually going to drill through from this side first. I've got the shape marked out. I'm keeping them roughly in order. You see I started taping and changed my mind. Drill through from this side, 2 spots, so I can see where to drill through when I turn it over. Yeah, smart, huh? Finally caught up. Using 2 size drills. This is going to be a clearance drill that I'm going to put through this piece of wood, and this is a tap drill that I'm going to put into those pieces down there. So when I size these, I like to make this smaller than the thread. It's about as large as you can get, but below the thread size. This one is a clearance drill, so it'll actually clear the threads, they'll just drop through. And that's the big ones going through here, small ones going into those bits down there. Right, so I did do this one. I'm going to pull the tape off. It did twist a little bit when the first screw on the other side tightened up. So I tried to realign it, and it's pretty darn close. I'm thinking it's probably going to be close enough. Yeah, see, it pushed a bit this way, but that's on the inside, so it should be good. Let's have a go at the other two. Get over. Drill from the other side. Here we go. One. I should stop it flipping around. Right. Back over. Check the alignment. That's pretty good. Yep. Yep. Looks good. Close enough. Now the all-important, does it fit test? I haven't tried it yet, so let's see if it works. Oh, that was easy. Yep. Fits well.